The arcs enable the foot to support the weight of the body and provide an ideal distribution of the body weight over the soft and hard tissues of the foot, also providing a leverage when walking. So the arcs are not rigid, but they yield as weight as is applied and spring back when the weight is lifted. So and thus this helps to absorb shock. Usually the arcs are fully developed by the time children reach the age of 12 and 13. Let's check these arcs of which I've been talking about. So we have the bones of the foot and we have these major arcs of the foot. From this case, we have the first one right here, which is the medial part of longitudinal arc. Then we have the lateral part of longitudinal arc, and finally we have the transverse arc. So these are just the bones of the foot, and they all makes up the arc of the foot. So the longitudinal arc, it has two parts, both of which consists of tarsal and metatarsal bones arranged to form an arc from the anterior to the posterior part of the foot. The medial part of the longitudinal arc, which originates at the calcaneus, rises to the talus and descends through the navicular and the three cuneiform bones, and the heads also of the three medial metatarsals. So this is the point where the medial part of longitudinal arc originates and ends up to. So the lateral part of longitudinal arc also begins at the calcaneus, it rises at the cuboid and descends to the heads of the two lateral metatarsals. So mark the bones where these arcs passes through. The medial portion of the longitudinal arc is so high that the medial portion of the foot between the ball and the heel does not touch the ground when you walk on a hard surface. Remember, this arcs also enables a person to have that balance while walking. The transverse arc is found between the medial and lateral aspect of the foot and is formed by the navicular, three cuneiform bones, and the bases of the five metatarsals. So we at least have the two arcs, while the longitudinal arc has both medial and lateral, while the transverse arc only it's one which passes through these bones which I've mentioned, which is navicular, three cuneiform bone, and the five bases of metatarsals. So what's the effect when arc is disrupted? So the ball of the foot is the padded portion of the sole, superficial to the heads of metatarsals. Normally, the ball of the foot carries about 40% of the weight, and the heel carries about 60%. When a person wears high-heeled shoes, however, the distribution of weight changes so that the ball of the foot may carry up to 80% and the heel carries 20%. As a result, the fat pad at the ball of the foot are damaged, joint pains develops, and structural changes in bones may occur. So this